All right, let's find the right thing here. There we go. There I am. What's up, everybody? Creepers, geekers, the whole fucking 9 yards. You know what I'm talking about. I'm over here playing like I don't even know if you can hear it or not. I don't even have it up that loud today. Not for any other reason then. That's just how loud it was when I turned it on. How is everyone doing this afternoon? What is it, fucking Tuesday? It's Tuesday. The day after Monday. And the day before Wednesday. So, hope it's a good day, regardless of what day it is. Or what day it's in front of or behind of. So, I thought I would pull out... I was just curious as to the condition of my Pops. Because I'm probably going to start just unloading them. Not because they're going out of business or anything, but... you know, I don't know. We were talking about Funko possibly going bankrupt yesterday. We were talking about the Pops and everything. And though I'm not a big fan of the bread-headed looking fucking things, somehow, much like when you go outside, sometimes you get ticks. You don't go out there to get ticks, but sometimes you bring them home. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 11. 12 if you count this little teeny guy. So I figured I would parade in front of the camera. And, you know, if we got some time left over, we'll play some games. We'll play a few shooter games or something like that on the old Atari, the Stella. Let me just wipe off my glasses here. Because I always grab them by the lenses. I don't fucking know why. I mean, these ones are broken. I got to go to the store and get some more here in the next day or so. But, James, what's going on, man? He says, morning. It's the crack of noon. It's 1 o'clock here, buddy. It's 1 o'clock here. You know, are you the same James from TikTok? I can barely see your little avatar picture. But, mine are all Kevin Smith universe. That's rad. But yeah, we were talking yesterday about Funko and Skellington House. What is that? We were talking about how, you know, Funko might be going into bankruptcy. They're like $250 million behind. They're doing well with their Loungefly stuff. I know that for a fact, at least here. Because I can't walk in any fucking room without tripping over one of them. My ladies have this weird thing where they have to hang bags on doorknobs. And God is my witness, every doorknob in this house has a bag hanging from it. And if that's not the case, on the floor, just a little bit to the side, like we got this little entrance here to go into the kitchen, and the wall goes in a little bit, and we have like a little shelving unit there, you know, and the oven's on the other side of it. But they like to line up their bags right there. There's like 4 Loungeflies, plus a couple in the fucking bedroom. So Funko can't just be making Pops. I mean, I know they make a whole bunch of other things. But it was like an epidemic when these vinyl figures started coming out. When I pulled these out, I also noticed I had these little Alien AVP ones that were... I think they were with the, what was that box that used to go around? The Nerd Box, or whatever the fuck it was called. The really big one. That people would get like a t-shirt, a pin, a figure. One of those. In fact, I got... Loot Crate, that's what it was called. Loot Crate. It says it right here in the back. The greatest pencil sharpener of all time. If you ever see a meme with this guy laying down on a brown table and it says greatest pencil sharpener ever or something like that, I made that meme. I'm pretty proud of that. Not because it's anything of value, but it's a meme that I keep getting sent over and over again. People are like, oh my God, you like horror characters. You like the Draculas and the Frankensteins and all that. Look at this pencil sharpener. I'm like, that's actually literally mine. The one I'm holding in my hand right now. But I have, you know what? Let me, I'll be right back. Let me go grab something real quick. I'll just grab one. I have a bunch of these vinyl figures too. I don't think they actually. I think they are from Funko, but from Mad Monster Party. This is the only one I had loose. The rest of them are in their little tubes. I have Dracula. I have the Wolfman. I have Frankenstein, and there's one other over there. I can't remember. And of course, Mr. Hyde here, Jekyll or Hyde here. It looks to the monster version, so it must be Mr. Hyde. So, Bears fan, what's going on? He says, I'm on a meeting right now. But I jumped in and say, yo, what's up, man? But I need to stop. Have a good stream. Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you, dude. I would appreciate that. I love when people at work and they come in here. I just pray one of these days that, like, they leave their volume on by accident, and people are like, what in God's name? Not even because of the swearing. I don't want anyone to lose their situation, if you will. Just, I'm always curious what people say I'm at work right now. It's like, I know most people have earbuds in or headphones or whatever. But one of these times, I want to hear a story about how coworkers are like, what the fuck are you listening to? But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. PJ Smith, what's going on? So, do you have the Funko Pop app? I have quite a few of the app. No, I don't. I don't have enough pops here. I didn't even know. I mean, I suppose I could have realized it was an app, but I do not have the Funko Pop app. I was telling everyone shortly ago that I have about 11 of them, and they're all right here. They're all right here, and one at a time we'll parade them in front of the camera. If there's any of these that anybody wants, there's a few I'm keeping. But I might just unleash these. I don't have any use for them. People seem to enjoy them. They're literally sitting in a tub, except for 1, 2, 3. Aside from 4 of them. 2 of them I leave loose. I do have the boxes. In fact, it's funny. Those 2, the boxes have the protective thing. The rest of them don't. And they're the only ones that are not in the box. But, yeah, I got a whole bunch of these vinyl figures. I got an Alien and Predator one. They're about this high and goofy looking. They're not, I don't think Funko made those ones specifically. But they were Loot Crate things that people had given me over the years. Actually, I bought one of them at a thrift store and got to open it myself. Actually, we might have done it here. James says, I've been responsible for at least 5 memes on TikTok. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Hi, BFG. What's going on, my man? I don't know if he's still in here or not. Has happened when listening to the Magic Historian. He likes Jay from Kevin Smith. You know what the hell he will say. You know what? I never got into any of that stuff. Except for Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is probably one of the greatest movies of all time. There was a time when I was still in corrections, me and one of my sergeants would watch that at least once a week in dispatch. If I was in dispatch, for shit sure, he brought that DVD in and we watched it. We pulled one of the classroom TVs because it was attached to all of them. And we would watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. We work in the overnights. So after about midnight, nothing was going on unless, of course, the kid was feeling sad and decided to, go for a swing. I don't mean to say it, without respect, but there's certain words you really can't say on here. So let me give you just the picture of what I'm talking about. But we would watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back all the time. In fact, I would quote them all the time on the prison yard. Let's go cornhole as a drunk. We'd get a call on the radio. 1024, multiple inmates fighting. I'd look at my buddy and go, let's go cornhole as a drunk. You and your constitutionally protected family are free to go. iRobot is declaring bankruptcy. My Roomba might be screwed. Turn it into a weapon thing. There's people taking those little robots and putting, like, weapons on them, and, they're doing the whole robot war things with it. Do that, man. Or just put a balloon on it and a knife and see who gets to pop the balloon. Do the safe version. Safest, I guess. All right, let's start with the little guy. I actually have this one loose with his counterpart, Mr. Frederick Krieger, that I put on the Christmas tree. It's with the Christmas ornaments. I got one of these little pocket pops. It's a fucking bread-headed looking prick. Fucking Jason Voorhees. Man, I'm so excited about the Voorhees universe and the new Crystal Lake show. But I believe this was a gift from my friend Mr. Paku. In fact, maybe the other ones were too. I can't remember. There is one, a monster that we got, I know for a fact came from him. But I think that was about it. In fact, I'm going to reach out to him and see how he's doing. He's a good buddy of mine from Arizona. I haven't talked to him in a while. But last time I saw he was starting to work out and getting healthy and shit. But yeah, here's the first one. Mr. Jason Voorhees, because Jason lives, man. I love Jason Voorhees. My favorite. Has happened when listening to Magic Store. Okay, we already read that. iRobot. Okay, you never know. Check out the Robot 100%. You need to watch all the Kevin Smith movies. Most are better than Strike. Oh, I have seen them. I'm trying to think as recent as... Ooh, nothing like very recent anyway. I know he's come out with stuff here and there, but yeah, I've seen them all. Chasing Amy, Mallrats, all of the fucking, what do you call it there? The one, I'm not even supposed to be here. Whatever that one was called. Like his initial one, the most popular one. Howard, what's going on, buddy? Don't tell me what it's called. Clerks, sir. Clerks. I'm one of the few people who don't think Clerks is a good movie. I respect it. I respect it for the budget. I respect it for the passion. And I respect it for the people who were helping him out and took it seriously. And he had a vision. He saw that vision and he made it happen. Whether it was to 100%, I don't know. But as far as Clerks is concerned, I was never a fan of it. I was never a real big fan of it. A lot of my friends were, but I don't know. New Axe, eh? No, it's the dog, Randy Jackson. I recently put these humbucker-sized P90s in it. It was just sitting there in pieces. I got rid of the single coils that were in it and put them in another guitar, which I then sold. Some dude just really, really wanted it. I brought it with me to a guitar center to try out an amp. And a dude followed me out into the parking lot, was like, dude, I gotta have that guitar. How much? So we made a deal right there in the parking lot. He gave me the right number, He didn't get ripped off or anything. But yeah, okay, good. Numero uno. Baby Voorhees over here, the little peanut. The next two are not in their boxes, though I still have the boxes because they're on display with like items. The first one here is E.T. I gotta have an E.T. pop. And there are a few of these that the head shape does kind of work, But I got this version of E.T. I have, guys, I don't give a fuck. Go ahead and make fun of me. I have the Build-A-Bear E.T. And it came with that stupid red. I want to find a shirt that looks like this. That's a little oversized to put on him. And I keep going into like the preemie section of children's apparel stores or whatever. My daughter, she collects dolls, like really nice ones and ones that look fucking crazy realistic. We've had them on here a few times. And I go with her sometimes to the places she gets the clothes for her dolls and stuff. More times than not, it's thrift stores and stuff like that. But I have him, when we're in the studio, he's on the coffin shelf. Along with, of course, my Atari E.T. cartridge and a whole bunch of other E.T. memorabilia. These little figures that Target had for $1 a piece, they were a blind bag. There were 6 total, I believe. I have all of them. And it's just like a little shrine to my boy E.T. I was traumatized by E.T. as a kid. You're not the first person to tell me that. His head looks like a Twinkie. I think it looks more like a fucked up loaf of bread. Genuinely, it is fucking hot in here. Oh my God, my heater, which is right under the table, it's not on. Traumatized by E.T. as a kid. I was born in 75. E.T. came out when I was 7. And it was probably the greatest thing that happened to me aside from Star Wars. I have so much love and nostalgia for E.T. I mean, I've seen it so many times in the theater. I remember it was the first movie that I personally had to stand in line just to get into the building to get a ticket. I remember thinking, this is a fucking big deal. And that movie, for a 7-year-old kid, even Gen X, you know, it had everything. It had heart. You cried. You got scared. I mean, I remember in the beginning being fucking terrified. I'm like, this isn't like a scary movie, is it? My mom's like, no, it's heartfelt. Just shut up and watch the movie. So, you know, I don't know. I fucking love E.T. I will say this, though. I have seen the movie with the girls here. I don't think it holds up. I don't think it holds up all that well. It's a great movie, and I still love watching it. I don't think it holds up. Oh, okay, so you're a year older than me, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. I thought maybe you were a little younger than me, and that's why, but wow, a lot of you guys are older than me, thank God. Thank God I'm not the old man. Do you guys remember I had this one kid, I think he was a Middle Eastern kid, and he used to talk about how I'm an old man, I'm going to die soon. That's all he would ever comment. I'd either do a live and he'd just be in there, you're going to die, old man, you're dead, you're old gray beard and all this shit. And this is years ago. But all right, the next one I have, who's in the same dilemma as E.T., not in his packaging, is the Count. In fact, if you're on my TikTok, and I know James here has seen, I have the Weebles Haunted House with a bunch of Count figures around it. And I have one of him holding a pumpkin with, I guess it's the 2? Maybe he's just doing a 1? I don't know. But he will not be going back in the box. I will not be getting rid of him. Obviously, I won't be getting rid of E.T. either. Yeah, he's over there on top of Alucard's tank, my snake. I loved. Oh, as a matter of fact, I'm wearing my Count T-shirt today. Ironically enough. 2 Count products I spent money on. But the Count, man, another figure I think kind of works. It kind of works. And I think it's because he has exaggerated features that kind of overshadow the breadhead thing, and they actually round this one off. You'll see, like with one of the Star Wars characters, it's just a block, you know, how they normally are. But this one was sculpted a little bit more, so you could tell it was definitely the Count. So that's why I like this guy so much. I want to make a 1-to-1 Count figure. We have a doll that's almost 3 feet tall that was actually my girl's when she was a kid. And before that, I think it was her mom's. Creepy fucking thing named Patty. Disturbing. Patty's been featured a few times on here and on my TikTok. So, if you really care to fucking see Patty, by all means, go seek out Patty. But Patty's creepy. There was there still is, a mask that Dollar Tree sold this past Halloween. It was a Jason mask, the same one I used for, I don't know where the duck is, that I used for my Jason rubber ducky. It's about this big. You guys have seen him in the background of a few things, but it was a Jason mask, but it had slits here, almost like Hannibal Lecter's, or I just thought it looked like if I were to paint it like a rusted iron. I got a second one for that. But that mask fit Patty perfectly. So one of these days I'm going to find that style of doll in a thrift store, and we're going to make a little Jason Voorhees out of it. But all right, moving on. Next Funko poop. That's what we're going to call him now. Funko poop. And this was a gift from my missus, because she knew I was really big into Star Wars in the early days of our relationships. She got me the Kylo Ren, because when The Force Awakens came out, guys, look, I like The Force Awakens. I can see good things in the other two. I don't think as a whole, as a trilogy, it's a great series, but there's a lot about them I do like. And when you go to The Rise of Skywalker, I really think that should have been stretched to be 2 and 3. You know, they just didn't have any clear direction. I'm not going to go into all the cliches. They didn't have any clear direction, and they fucked it all up. I don't know how you fuck it up, but you do. They did. But she got me a Kylo Ren. As you can see, it's probably never been out of the box. Maybe in a video or something, I pulled it out. But this is one of those, I don't give a fuck either way. The only reason I still have it is because it was a gift. But Kylo Ren, he's all right. I dug him. I understood Kylo Ren from day one. I thought he was a very dynamic, I thought he was a good character. I thought he was a really good character, man. You know? He was troubled. He didn't have the, I don't know. I look 30 when I shave. I look older when I shave. No, actually, I do look quite younger when I shave. It's funny. There's people in their 80s going out and enjoying life, smoking beers, drinking blunts. That's funny. I'm a huge fan of your customs. Thank you, man. I don't have any right around here. I actually just took a picture of the Grave Boy. It's a Game Boy made into like a monster. I just took a picture of that for a Facebook group picture. Somebody posted their Game Boy with 2 Mortal Kombats on the Atari Age Facebook group. And I put that in there with the caption, "Finish him." Everybody likes it. It's pretty cool. I'm surprised I haven't gotten one person, "Well, why'd you fuck up a good Game Boy?" Because it wasn't a good Game Boy. Don't you worry about that. But I appreciate that, James. Thank you so much, man. Found you with Two-Headed Rudolph. We've been friends since. I think we've been friends longer than the Two-Headed Rudolph. In fact, I think you were one of the earlier people I started following. But he's still up there. He hasn't changed. I'm looking for a very specific Santa face. I'll even pull up the picture of what I'm looking for. I had it in my hands, and that's where the picture came from, last Christmas. It was at the Dollar Tree. And I took the picture to show my buddy and make a blowjob joke. And when you see the picture, you'll see what I'm talking about. I think I made Santa's ho 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 in this year. But I want to use that face for the chest. Here it is. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. But I'm waiting to find another one of those. Because that's going to be on the chest. I've found a couple of other Santa heads that would fit. But they don't quite, oh, look at E.T. They don't quite work the way I wanted this one to work. So, if anyone has Blowjob Santa, please reach out. I'll give you $2 for it. You'll double your fucking money. You'll double your money. But no, in all seriousness, I gotta find one of those. They may have recalled them because of the, what it's insinuating, I guess. The reason I would have liked it. But, yeah. Excuse me. I like Fire Awakens. I like Fire Awakens too. So how many pops you got? I believe we counted 11. 1, 2, including that little one. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. And the last one's a big one. A big one. And I love that one. So we will get to that one. Let's move on. This guy. From The Mandalorian. First of all, I love The Mandalorian. You guys should all know that. And I'm building a Mandalorian kit, a suit. I just have a little bit of a hiccup. Because the helmet I made, my custom helmet, it's squishing my nose. And I've tried everything. Pads in different places. Shy of cutting it and extending it a little bit and then refinishing it. Oh my God. So I just need to find someone to print me one. I just don't have the scratch for it right now. But Q90 is a character from one of the best Mandalorian episodes, and it's like it takes place in one hallway. Most of it takes place in one hallway. But he was a character, one of the bad guys, and I actually have a 3D printed kit to turn one of the Black Series 3POs into him. I don't know where it is, and I have the 3PO already. I just never put it together. I love this character. I think he's rad looking. Great design. And the guy who actually played him, I don't know if he's still on Facebook or not, but we were friends for a little while, I asked him a few questions about the suit and stuff like that, and there was nothing really to talk about. I mean, he accepted my friend request. He was in a Star Wars group that we all, hung out at for a little while. There's not really much going on there at all. Let's bring up some Masters of the Universe. Masters of the Universe. We got Battle Armor Skeletor. I don't know what it is with Skeletors. I can't find just a plain fucking Skeletor that I'm willing to pay for. Everything I have is all battle fucking armor. And I'll be honest with you, it's the cheesiest of them all. But one day. I mean, I don't want one. By the way, if anyone's like, "Hey, I have one," I'm good. You keep your Funko Pops because I'm trying to not keep mine. Well, I got Battle Armor Skeletor. I never really got any of the others except for this other one that's right here, which I don't know if I'll keep it on. It's an interesting design. Let's see. They just call it a Skeletor. I thought it would have had a fun name, but Turtles of Grayskull. So it's a Ninja Turtle crossover. So Shredder, right? That's supposed to be Shredder. Not really into the whole Ninja Turtle thing. I read the comics in the early days. I mean, the guys are up in New Hampshire, so of course they circulated down here. And I had a buddy of mine that had them, and we used to enjoy reading those guys. But yeah, I got 2 Skeletors, which again I think kind of fits the aesthetic of it all. But I don't know. I can find all of these all day long. It's funny, people used to try to get big money for stuff like this, but every store I go to that specializes in stuff like this has that one giant wall of nothing but pops in that one corner where they're like $5 a piece, and if you buy more than one, you get the other one free. And I don't know. How it says Force Awakens, I know what you meant, buddy. Let's see. I had issues with the way the last movie ended. You know what? It's whatever. It's whatever. I like her lightsaber. I like the saber that she made out of the staff. I don't know who taught her how to make a lightsaber. I don't know who taught her how to go find a kyber crystal or where to get one, but I guess we'll never know. We'll never know, because it's my understanding that the Rey trilogy that's supposed to have come out is no longer in production, or in it's not even in production hell. It's just they're not going to do it. To my last, let's see. I like the cast too. I thought they were great. They just did nothing with them, except for Finn. And when I say that, I mean I didn't like Finn. At first, I did. I thought it was going to be an interesting, and I'm not into throwing politics into these kind of things unless it is like a subtext. Like Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead has a strong subtext. All of Romero's movies have strong subtext, but they're entertaining movies that you can just shut your brain off from that. But I really thought they were going to turn him and Poe into something. And even though I would normally be like, what the fuck? Keep that shit out of my Star Wars. I was actually kind of like, good for them. Because they weren't like, it wasn't in your face. But I don't know. Finn just turned out to be a useless. You know what Finn did? He got fucked up and he screamed Rey's name a lot. That's all he did. And I thought he had mad charisma. Everyone had really good charisma. It's just, I thought Rey was charismatic as fuck. I didn't care that she was super, They show that she was already self-sufficient, I guess you will. She could take care of herself. And she supposedly was so strong with the Force, it would make sense that she would slowly figure it out. But I don't know. I had no problem with it. I just wish they had done something better with the stories and the characters. I wish we had seen a Han, Leia, and Luke kind of reunion, and throw Chewie in there too. But Chewie did get to hang out with them all at some point during the series, but they all didn't get to hang out together, and that bothered me. It was almost like the new directors were just like, fuck the legacy people. We could talk Star Wars all fucking day long. We're here to talk about Funko Pops. Let's see. Mine are mostly Marvel, DC. Storing them all now, right? Like I was telling everyone, most of these are in a tub somewhere, except for the few loose ones that I have. And the one big one at the end, which is on display with more like items. We'll get to it. I'm going to leak it, make it a big, big thing. So let's move on from Skeletor and move over to, we'll pull this guy up because we all know I'm going to have at least one of these guys, right? Monsieur Voorhees, Jason Voorhees. God, I'm so excited for the new stuff that's coming out. Angry Orchard took down that little video, a Sweet Revenge. I wonder if their contract with the Jason universe ran out, or maybe they had a bad falling out. But I went to watch it the other day. It's gone. And I'm mad about that because I thought it was done very well. And if you haven't seen it, I'm sure it's out there somewhere. But it was like a little 12-minute little Jason Voorhees vignette to sell apple cider. We did a live on here drinking each one of them. I'm not much of a drinker, but we sat there, we drank 4 of them. There was 4 flavors in that 12-pack. And one of them had a Jason mask on it. So we gave that a shot, and it was what it was. Let's see. Skeletor has become a comical figure. Until we meet again, yeah. Although there are a couple that are like, and woman's intuition is never wrong. There are too many single mothers for that to be true. Too many single mothers for that to be true. Until we meet again. Those are cool. I didn't hate it. Yeah, it's all right, It's all right. But yeah, Jason Voorhees, man. Gotta have the Voorhees. I like how they do that so you can put them on the book. So you can, or the bookshelf, so you can feel sophisticated. Here's my library of Funko. Get the fuck out of here with your library of Funko Pops. I never understood how anyone could take these so seriously. Again, I enjoy the few that I have, but and I was explaining to people yesterday, if you weren't here, if you look right there in this corner, not here, but here, there's 2 filer cabinets. There's a large one and a short one. And my lady just likes to stack boxes on it. I don't know why. The living room was done up wicked nice, and then we have that. But most of this top part here is all Funko Pops. There's got to be like 100 of them there. Some of them in cases, like I got her for her birthday or Christmas one year. The entire set for Orange is a new black. That's in a box still somewhere over there. There's a few like political figures. She's got a few Leia. I think she might even have a Rey. I don't know. So we just looked at Mr. Voorhees. Of course, I have another Voorhees. That's a little more in tune with what we do here. The 8-bit. The 8-bit NES. Monsieur Voorhees. That translates well. I like that. I probably won't hang on to it, though. Maybe I will, because I like collecting Jason Voorhees stuff from time to time. But, of course, I have his counterpart. I got Froderick Krieger here. I don't know if you guys know. I know the guys over on TikTok know. But my lady's knitting me a Freddy Krueger hoodie. A sweater hoodie. And the reason we went that direction is I need a new hoodie. And I've been asking her because she knits. She knits. She's always fucking knitting something. Usually a small blanket for some child we'll never fucking meet that was just born. For a few years, she was doing what they call temperature blankets. And she would block off like 5 degrees, and that would be one color. And then, all the way down. And throughout the year, she would look at what the temperature was every day. And at the end of the week, she would do the rows. And it just kept changing in some places. Some places it would be solid because it would stay around the same temperature. Pretty cool. You do it from January 1st to December 31st. And she did that for like 3 or 4 years. And I have one of those that I use when I sleep. We have one in the dining room. The girls have one, and I think she sold one of them. So she did them for quite a few years, actually. But I'm like, enough with the fucking blankets. Can you knit me a sweater? A Freddy sweater? And she's like, no, because the superstition says that if I knit you a sweater, because we're not married yet, we will break up. Don't knit your boyfriend a sweater, or you guys will break up. So I'm thinking to myself, I want a hoodie. And I saw people had crocheted ones out of granny squares. And I don't know why that just looks so fucking rad to me. I'm not a hipster or anything weird like that. But it just looked fucking rad. So I asked her, I said, will you knit me a hoodie? And she's like, absolutely. So I came up with a pattern for a Freddy Krueger hoodie sweater. And I've been doing updates over on my TikTok, Million Macabre. So if you ever want to check that out, I mean, I'm sure I'll be wearing it on here when it's done. But it probably won't be done until probably February or so. I'm guessing February. But, hey, you know, she's already halfway done with the back. She's got 4 more rows, and then she gets to start on the sleeve holes. But, yeah, so to recap, the last couple, the 8-Bit Freddy and Jason from the Nintendo games. The Nintendo games. I liked the Freddy one. I hated the Jason game. I hated it. But the Freddy one is a typical platformer. It's got its bugs, but overall, wow, this box is fucked up. This is probably one of my favorite pops, too. It's all fucked up. Yeah, we're down to the last 2. What's up, Richie Skulls? Ayo, River. What is that? He said that yesterday, too. What do you mean by Ayo, River? Is it something I'm missing? Should I say it in a weird... let's see. Skeletor memes. I dig Ray. I like her orange speeder. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I want to build one of those. I got to sit on something like that. There was one at Galaxy's Edge. And I kind of snuck my way over there and sat on the thing. No, I'm sorry. It was a blue one. It wasn't that one. I wasn't able to get onto Ray's. But this box is fucked up. But this is apparently it was a Walgreens exclusive. And it's from a show. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't watch TV or anything. I'm Colin. What's up, buddy? Oh, man, so many people are popping up. I'm going to have to recap all of these because we're down to the last 2. But this one right here, Frankenstein's Monster. But it's a Walgreens exclusive, which means he's holding a flower. And that makes it better than the other one. Or maybe not as betterer. I don't know. You tell me. I guess in this line there was a Dracula, of course. There was a Bride, Wolfman. There was a black and white mummy. How cool is that? We have the Gillman, the Creature of the Black Lagoon, the Phantom, and the Mutant Manta, which you don't see a lot of that stuff. People forget that exists. What a great creature design the Manta is, right? What a great monster. But this is the monster of all monsters. Him and Jason Voorhees. Those are the 2 dudes, you know, that you can empathize with. They're both fucking victims, no matter what happens in any of the movies. You know? It's just a matter of they just want a hug. They just want a hug. Give them a fucking hug. Maybe they'll stop terrorizing the village. But for fuck's sake. I love this one. Look at he even shaded the around the eyes. He just looks sad. He looks sad. There's something deep in the eyes of this fucking bread-headed motherfucker. But yeah, this is one I'll keep. I have this actually in the shelf holding my boxed Intellivision games from going bloop. And then between it is my loose and my boxed games. But the detail on this one's really cool. And his hand is you can see it's like he's barely holding on to the flower because he doesn't quite have the dexterity yet to use his hands. You got to remember he was hours old when he did that scene, you know? When he was in that scene, I should say. Excuse me, I'm still trying to get this shit out of me. I don't feel as sick as I did yesterday. But Alan, what's going on, buddy? Let's see. It's a distress call, a greeting. Never decided what it means. Okay, that's fine. Maybe we'll come up with one. Ayo River. We'll figure out something for that one, buddy. Just keep doing it. Let's see. Frank Pop. Absolutely. It's a distress call. Okay, we already read that. Alan says, so here's the news. John Riggs' Etsy store got shut down by Etsy. No worries, though. He has Shopify. Oh, really? John Riggs, huh? I didn't know he had... First of all, I didn't know he had an Etsy store. He seems like a nice guy. Is he a nice guy? I don't follow him. But he seems like a genuinely nice guy. I know of him through the Repro. the repro or the hack community. You know, a good buddy of mine, he's made a few for me in the past. Knows him and John Hancock and that whole group there. But John Riggs seems like a nice guy. I don't know. Maybe he's not. But that sucks that his shop got shut down. I'm genuinely sorry to hear that. Unless he was doing some nefarious shit that I don't know about, which I'll probably see a ton of fucking videos. I don't know. Maybe I'll subscribe back to Smash JT and he'll tell me all about it. Because he likes digging into poop and pulling out the peanuts. You know what I mean? He likes eating the peanuts out of the poop of news. News. That fucking kid. Nice kid. Reminds me of a rat. He has the face of a rat. And he seems like the type that would be a rat. Whatever. I guess the Funko bubble is about to... Yeah, looks like they might be going under. Or at least filing for bankruptcy. But I kill me. You are funny. I know funny. And Richie Skulls, you're a fucking funny prick. As we say here. He's a funny prick. This fucking guy. John Riggs comes by here in Everett to shop for old games. Right on, man. Right on. Have you ever, like, bumped into him or talked to him at all? Like, is he a nice guy? I would imagine he is. I don't know. He just doesn't seem like the type. He seems very humble. He seems like he's like the type of guy who's like in a small apartment like me, you know? And maybe he's got a kid or 2 or 12. I don't know. Maybe he has nobody. But he just always came across, I've seen a few of his videos, but he just always, I can't say enough, he just always came across as a wicked little nice guy. But that's too bad. That's too bad that he's going to be losing out on money, because I don't know what he sells. I'm going to assume repros. Maybe Nintendo came after him. Maybe someone complained. I don't know. But that sucks. All right, well, we're down to the last one, and the last one's in a big box. It's not one of those tall figures, but it's a combo box. It's a building with a character. And I'll say it's not the Scooby-Doo mansion, which I wish I'd gotten. I don't really care so much for the Scooby-Doo figure, but because I collect haunted houses and the haunted house toys, oh my God, there's a Matchbox haunted house set that I've wanted for so long, and this dude has it for $10. I'm going to try to squeeze that out of him here this weekend. I have the Hot Wheels one, the one with the ghost on the top and the little green van. I have that complete, as well as, of course, I have we were talking about earlier, the Weeble Wobbles haunted house. I have the, is it Tommy that made it, the haunted house game? I have a couple of haunted house board games, and I got all kinds. I have the Mystery Mansion that I used to display all my, my Toonie Terrors all around, and then it just started getting so obnoxious I couldn't do it anymore. There's just fucking too many of them. But I haven't bumped into him. And he seems pretty cool. I haven't met him in person. Right on. Because you play games, you should get the Energizer Bunny Funko Pop figure. I'm good. Thank you. I'm good with anything that's pop. All right. Let's recap everything I've already shown for anyone who came in late. We'll do it fast. We started with this little baby pop of Monsieur Voorhees. And I have 2 loose ones, but I still have the boxes. But these guys are on display. I have the Count, and he's with all my little Count figures that go all the way back to the beginning of Sesame Street. The only one I don't really have is this one of him in a car, a little metal car. I should get my hands on that one. And Mr. E.T., who's fucking, he rules. Surprised I don't have an E.T. Tattoo. I got 8-bit Jason. We got the 8-bit Froderick Krueger. We have 2. Fuck, this is starting to get obnoxious now. I didn't think this one through. I got actually Frankenstein's monster. It's a Walgreens exclusive, which I went to a Walgreens to try to find it, and of course the employees were like, I don't know. I have 2 Skeletors. One of them is the Shredder. That's not the one. The Shredder. And the other one's just battle armor. I have a regular Jason Voorhees. I have a 09Q. Is that 09? Q90. Great looking figure. I think it translates. We have, I never noticed it. He's got his lightsaber in the other hand. I know you're not going to be able to see it because of the glare, but he's got his lightsaber. And this one actually has a little base, a Star Wars base that looks like snow from the movie. They fought in the snow at the end of the movie. So it's accurate. It's accurate as fuck. All right, so here's the last one I own that I'm pretty sure I can recall. This one here, the character themselves is not really anyone in particular. Oh, you can read it. Fucking the Haunted Mansion, but it's the OG California Disneyland Haunted Mansion. Now, I am more of a fan of the Disney World Haunted Mansion, aesthetically, but this is the OG. This is the Haunted Mansion. When someone says Haunted Mansion, this is the structure I think of. The Disney Haunted. I'm trying to keep the glare from being so bad. I got a window literally 2 feet next to me here. But I got this one for Christmas or my birthday one year. I was kind of hoping they would come out with. The Disney World, and then they can expand it because the one in Paris, Phantom Manor, looks more like the Psycho House. And it looks derelict. One of the things that Walt Disney said is, I don't want the house looking all fucked up. We'll take care of the outside, let the ghosts take care of the inside. And that's a famous quote from him. So that's why when you walk up to the Haunted Mansion, both World and Land, they're nice looking buildings. He didn't want, in the middle of Liberty Square, something looking like a derelict piece of shit. Or whatever land the one in California is. Where is it in California? I know it's in Liberty Square in Florida, but I don't know. I know it's New Orleans down there, right? Is that what it's just called, New Orleans Square? I think. Maybe it says it on here. But it comes with a generic butler figure wearing the outfit that the people who work at the Haunted Mansion wear. So that's pretty cool. At least they didn't put one of the grim grinning ghosts, the hitchhiking ghosts in there or something like that, and then sell the other one separate. You can buy them in a 3-pack, translucent. It's pretty cool. But I liked it when they did this. And again, the Mystery Mansion, I would like to get the Mystery Mansion one, even if it's loose. I don't care about the figure. So I'll probably eventually keep my eye out for that. But I was also talking about how I think these are Funko. I don't know. Maybe not. No, they are. They're Funko, 2007. I got a whole bunch of these Mad Monster Party. They used to be behind me here. The other ones are in their little... They came in this clear plastic tube. I mean, I guess I could go grab them, but... I got Dracula, I got Frankenstein. I know I have the wolf guy over there, and I got something else. I can't remember. But I had them out because I have them for sale also. This is the only loose one I have. But I have these. These were gifted to me by a buddy of mine out in California. His name is Joe. Not so much buddies anymore. Politics got in the way, I guess. I don't know. Actually, that sounded pretty cool. And then just roll up that pentatonic scale. Yeah, New Orleans Square. That's right. It's funny because I never got to see the Haunted Mansion as a kid, but I knew everything about it. I had the records, I had the books, I had the story. In fact, I have one of the Haunted Mansion little, books around the corner here. It was just one of those things that I just thought I would never get to experience. So I sucked in as much as I could. And of course, once the internet came around, I found doombuggies.com or .net or whatever the fuck that website was called. And it was pretty small when I first found it. And they had sound clips, and they even had sound clips for shit that never got used. That's the first time I heard that. And I don't know if you know this, but Vincent Price actually came out to narrate it. And they chose to go with Freeze instead. I think his name was Freeze. But they used his in, I believe, Phantom Manor, because he did it both in English and in French, because he could speak French. So I thought it was pretty cool. Fun website. But I knew everything about the Haunted Mansion, how it was all done. That's where I learned about Pepper's Ghost. And I actually made a couple of Pepper's Ghost things out of like shoe boxes and shit. Really freaked out my friends. Oh my God, how'd you get that? I'm like, spooky, supernatural. And my friend would rip it open and see. But I wouldn't be using like glass. I would use like a large piece of plastic from like a toy like this or something, something, a big box, and I just and make a Pepper's fucking Ghost illusion with that, and a little bulb from a blow mold. Yeah, I remember exactly what it was. It was a little bulb from a blow mold. I popped in the bottom, and really good stuff. Painted the inside with spray paint, all black. There's a really cool Pepper's Ghost effect at Canby Lake Park, just north of me, in the Mine of Lost Souls. Pretty cool stuff. Disneyland stuff. I don't really have much Disneyland stuff. I got Disney World, but it's all about Pirates of the Caribbean for me. Haunted Mansion second. Really interesting. Although I will say this. You're in California and you have the Pirates of the Caribbean. What we got here is like the Temu version. Well, no. How about not the Temu version? It's the edited for TV version. You guys, your Pirates of the Caribbean is just so much longer and so much more detailed. Whereas ours is just kind of like the idea of all the scenes. It's done very well, don't get me wrong. The one in Disney World is done still very well. But it's nothing compared to what you have out there in California. So I could totally see that. But fuck you, the mansion rules. Fuck you, the mansion rules. Dude, I'm going to send you some mid-90s pics of the Haunted Mansion that I took over the years. I'll send you the link. Never been to any other parks but the OG Disneyland I went to with the fam. Yeah, right on, dude. Do that, man. I'd love to see that. That's pretty cool. Love those movie Pirates of the Caribbean. I like the first one. And I like a little bit of pretty much all. Well, no, I've only seen like the first two. I thought it was okay. They were fine. They were what they were. They were a Disney movie with Johnny Depp in it, and it was exactly what I thought it would be. But yeah, those are my Funko Pops. I'm probably gonna leave a few out and post them for sale if anybody's interested in them. I'm keeping Frank. I'm keeping, of course, E.T. I'm keeping the Count. I'm keeping the Haunted Mansion. But everything else can probably go. I don't know. I have no use for them. They just sit in a tub in the hallway. And when I mean the hallway, we have this front hallway that we don't ever use. So we line it with stuff. It's like a storage thing. And whenever guests come over and they end up having to use the front, we're like, just think skinny. It's not that bad. There's plenty of room in there. God, these pickups are so good. I didn't expect them to be. I did not expect them to be this good. I pick up this guitar more than any of the other ones right now, including my Kramer, I watched the first one and had an idea there would be paranormal shit in it. It's fun. It's fun. I like spooky stuff in kids' stories. I grew up with a lot of spooky shit in kids' stories. I mean, some of the stuff that came out when we were kids was just fucking brutal. Like The Secret of Nim. You show a little kid that now, and it's like, Something Wicked This Way Comes, which is one of my favorite spooky, creepy Disney movies. It was a Disney movie. And when you watch it, I want you to keep that in mind. That was a Disney movie. Fantastic. Jason Robards was in it. He was in a lot of really great stuff. Really great stuff. But, dead men tell no tales. It's true. Well, that's not really true. According to Autopsy on HBO back in the 80s and 90s, they do tell tales. That's how they solve crimes, by playing with the dead people. Mama said don't play with dead things. But yeah. Let's see, did I miss anything in the comments here before we sign out? Oh my god, that was a perfect timing for the hour, right? Now I gotta put all this shit back. And I'd be honest with you guys, this video almost didn't happen because of this. Because it's on the top of my shelf. Not this crap, but right here. Surrounded by a bunch of Haunted Mansion stuff. And there was like 4 things on top of it, and things that were actually leaning on it, and I still have, you can see it, yeah, you can see it, the step stool ladder right here. The fucking ladder is still there for when I get done, and I just put it back up there for it just to collect more dust. And the ironic thing about me displaying stuff in the living room, I never use the living room. I'm very hardly ever in there. That's where the TV is. I don't do TV. The ladies, that's their room. I'm right here. I got my work stuff right there. I got this back here, my laptop on the table. And the only time the laptop comes off is when supper's ready, you know? So, guys, this was a lot more fun than I anticipated it being. I thought we were just going to kind of be like, I have this one. Yay. I like this character. Yay. But no, we had some fun talking about it, man. And as much as I fucking hate these things, it's sad to see that Funko as a company is struggling right now. But I can totally see why. I mean, if I have this many of these stupid little fucking things, everything has a Funko Pop. Everything. Like, I'll go into what is that store locally here? For a wicked good time. What the fuck is it? Newberry Comics. I'll go into Newberry Comics, which sucks now. It used to be a really great underground store. Now it's all Funko Pops and fucking Gundam. That's all it is Gundam, Funko Pops, overpriced action figures, and socks. Lots of fucking socks. But they just have a tremendous wall of them. And I'll walk in there and be like, really? They made a pop of that thing? Now, everyone has a pop. Every fucking buddy has a pop. I don't have a pop. I don't. The formerly known as the Atari Creep, the Retro Creep. I don't have a pop. But that said, I do want to put all these pops back, and I'm going to be going for a walk down to the old CVS to see if they got my scripts yet. And that's really it, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me this afternoon. I genuinely appreciate it. Whether you've been here the whole hour, or you're just jumping in, or you're watching this after the fact. I don't know how many people do, so let me know in the comments that you watched this after the fact, just for curiosity's sake. I'm not even trying to do the engagement thing. But let me know if you watched this after the stream went no longer live. I know I watch some of you guys' stuff. I know I do that after the fact. More times than not, it's in the background while I'm doing dishes or working on a custom figure or something like that. But maybe we'll do one of those here this week. We'll go over some of my custom figures. There's a lot I don't have anymore. But there's a playlist called Mealy Macabre here that you can go back and look at them. The one that I saw recently in a memory that I wish I still had was the TIE Fighter. It was a skull, if you remember. It was a skull with the TIE Fighter stuff. And I made a little base for it. That sold for like $75. I got offered $75 for it. I said, you know what? Yeah. I don't need it anymore. And once it's sold, I was like, fuck, I kind of wanted that. But I'm a fat kid who likes to eat food too. So, guys, thank you for hanging out with me this hour. It always brightens my day. I don't know what it does to yours. Hopefully your day is going well, and the rest of your week will go well. And that's it. You know, I don't really have anything else to say. So, guys, wherever in the world you are, I hope you're doing well. Until next time, take care, creep it real, and bye-bye.